So if you're camping, then you find kangaroos that you can actually visit really close of them. Sometimes you can even hear them eat the grass. Not always, but sometime. Yeah, they are really, like how would I say, they are really used to these that people are around. Yeah, normal kangaroos would be actually afraid. But these ones next to the campgrounds or on the beach, which are really rare on the beach, they are really friendly. Hello everyone, welcome back to another vlogging at the beach. As last month I would say, that I have uploaded the Jervis Bay Botanical Garden, that I have announced that we were camping at the Jervis Bay at I think it was the Green Patch campground. If not, then I will correct myself. Now we are camping again. This is the first one in 2026, which is we are here at Depot Beach, really close to Batman's Bay, around 20-30 kilometers away. Not too sure which one is right. And this is the Depot beach of the Depot Beach. Really beautiful. And then this direction there is Batman's Bay. So you can actually walk all the way until Batman's Bay next to the ocean if you want to, or this side, the north part. So we will be staying here 2 nights, today and tomorrow, and then yeah, we will see what I can find, what I will be filming. So let me show around a little bit of this little beach area. So as you can see, there are really beautiful rocks, like the cliff next to the ocean. It is way wavier than Jervis Bay was. A lot of eucalypt trees everywhere. And then, as you can see, this is actually the end of Australia again, the east end. So that's part that you can see all the way, still Australia, but right like in the middle there is nothing. That's the open ocean, and I would say New Zealand is somewhere really far away, but yeah, New Zealand is the closest. Here in the eastern part, New Zealand is the closest major country, island or mainland, because in Western Australia I would say South Africa would be the next one, while I would assume there are small islands, but not too sure about that. But the major mainland country would be South Africa, or and over here there is something that I want to, I think I have asked multiple times, or at least once, this one. I don't know if you can see these little, it looks like a tent made out of wood. In most places it looks more sheltered. This one doesn't really look as sheltered, but still I have no clue why they are here. So I really need your help, guys, because I don't know what they are, but everywhere in Australia I can find them. And then I would assume they are for homeless people or the Aboriginal people who doesn't have their own home. But then where they are during the day? So Yeah. So let's explore this beautiful beach here. So we all really like to walk next to the beach if we can swim. Like we are as Europeans, we are not used for these kind of waves, as the Mediterranean Sea is the closest for Hungarians, and they are way calmer. But as in Baltic countries, they have the Baltic Sea. In maybe the UK has also calmer beaches. I'm not too sure about that because it has also an open ocean. I mean, they have sea, not ocean, so that's the main reason that we don't really swim in these ones, because they are too strong for us. Yeah, because in Europe we have seas. Here we have Australia's oceans all the way around, like the US. But still, it is really beautiful. It still has some turquoise color if the sun is actually shining on it, but not like in Perth or Western Australia. Yeah, Western Australia was still really beautiful choice. Perth was, I don't say in Perth, so if you are planning to go to Perth, don't say in Perth. Yeah, look at all of these beautiful eucalyptus trees. So what I started to say was that don't stay in Perth, go to northern or southern parts of Perth. As you could see, we have drove 1 hour or almost 2 hours to Pinnacles, a desert, the Lancelin, to the town of Lancelin as well, which were really interesting and really calm beaches, especially Lancelin was, as well as the Yankee Lagoon. And all of them, so each beach, every beach I would say, in Western Australia has that beautiful white sand beach. Not like here. Like here it is kinda grey. Like even behind me now, it's still grayer than. Also in Jervis Bay they have really good white sand. So what can I say so far about Depot Beach, and how can I compare to, let's say, I think it is the Green Patch. I would say it is the Green Patch in Jervis Bay. Once again, if not, then I will correct myself. So don't worry, guys. So first of all, Jervis Bay, or the Green Patch campground, had, I would say, much like how do I say? So I don't know what to say. Like, because here, like, each has amenities, but Jervis Bay there were at least 3 or 4. Here only 1, and there are 50 campsites, and there is only one big one for all of these 50. Like, can you imagine? And also some of them have cottages, meaning they have small houses that you can actually rent or stay like in a hotel, but instead of, like, you have your own apartment, I would say. So yeah, so that's one thing here that is actually really good if you don't like camping, or you don't have a tent or caravan, then, or camper van, then choose that one. Similar experience, but instead of sleeping in a trailer, in a car, in a tent, We sleep in a small house, and we are still next to the nature. So yeah, and then I mean, I don't know if it is really common here or not, but there is a power outage at the moment. They are like no electricity, meaning because here they are actually like here the rainwater gets actually recycled, and that's the water that we get. We have tank water here that you can actually drink, but you need to boil it first. And then what else? But because there is no electricity, there is no water as well. So yeah, I don't know how long there is no electricity, but that is really unfortunate, especially if you have a cottage, because that means you have no fridge and it is 30 degrees. So yeah, so you have no fridge, all your how to say, so all your food goes bad, sorry. So yeah, so let me show you something, guys, that I have just found now. So there is literally holes in the sand. I mean, I know that there is one kind of worm that is actually on the beaches. We have not really seen it anymore since we are here. In these 3 years we have not seen it, but yeah, but that actually might be the one that is, or some kind of birds. Yeah, look at the beautiful greeniness. Yeah, we are actually next to a rainforest area, so yeah, but really beautiful still. So yeah, so this was what I wanted to show you guys. So, and there are places for tents or camping places which have electricity, which is a really interesting one, because we have been to Jervis Bay and in Tatra, or how do you call it? Maybe like leave a little comment in the video, so you can, so Australians know which city I am actually talking about. So yeah, so that beach camping area, well, had nothing, no amenities, no drinking water. I mean, maybe toilets, they had toilets, maybe. I'm not too sure about that, but there were no barbecue areas, there were no fireplace areas. Here in both sides, or both sides, what sides, yeah, they are. Yeah, sometimes English can be so confusing, as well as French. So like poisson and poisson, poisson is the fish, poisson is the poison. So yeah, here side and sight are almost the same words. Yeah. So anyway, so both sides were, it had barbecue areas. All of them are free. So fireplace areas, here you need to actually buy firewood, $15, I would say 1 kilo of firewood, which, what I say, compared to Jervis Bay, which has free firewood, come on. But here you can actually buy ice, $5 for 1 kilo of ice. Like, yeah, and there is no discount, or they don't say that you can take it for free today because there is no electricity, meaning your fridge is not working, your food will go bad. No, There's nothing, it says $5. One, which, how would I say, a bit interesting one, or a bit strange one. And that's why I'm stopped, because I have found really beautiful shell. So yeah, so what I started to say at the beginning, that you walk next to the beach or next to the water, and then we are searching for shells. And sometimes you can find like water snail shells, or just clams, or how do you call them? So yeah. So, and I found a really beautiful one. Let me show you guys. Look at this one. How big it is. Oh my god. And it would be really beautiful if you see the whole thing, but still this, do you look at this one, like in this condition, really beautiful one. And it still has some colors on them. Wow. And there is no one uninhabited. There is no how do you call them? Crabs on them, crabs in them. Yeah, I have some story for that one as well. It's really beautiful. Wow. So you can see that we are like collecting shells, clams, and you can find really good ones, like this one, really rare ones. And then so the story with the crab and this snail shell, or snail house, the water snail shell. Yeah, I want to know the real name for that one. Yeah, I'm not using translator at the moment because my phone needs to survive at least tonight, so that I can charge it tomorrow. So anyway, so we were in Croatia, another European country next to the Mediterranean Sea, bordering Hungary, Slovenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro. Yeah, these are the countries that it's bordering. And I know which year was it, because it was really long time ago now. But we have found a water snail shell that we thought that it was empty, uninhabited, while like we put it in the water to clean it, because it was full of sand. A crab actually came out, so yeah, we just dropped it into the ocean, into the sea, so that it can live. Yeah, so we are not killing them. But it's a really beautiful beach, the ocean and the surroundings. So especially this side. Look at this greenness next to the ocean. Really interesting and really beautiful one. Yeah, some kangaroos jumping. There is actually a really small one. I don't know if you can see it now, because they got a bit. The small one is a bit hidden now. Yeah, that one, the smallest one. Really cute. Yeah, so one thing for sure, that if you are coming to Australia, you will find kangaroos. They are like literally the first animal that you can see in Australia. So if you come any city, I would say, go to any park, you will find at least one, and then you will find more after that. So yeah, humidity it came again. I don't know if you can see, but I can see the humidity again, similar to Perth. Yeah, it got more humid. Yeah, so these were really rare occasions here in Australia that you can actually go near to kangaroos. Yeah, normal kangaroos would actually like stare at you and then they would, I think, run away when you saw them. So they don't really get angry. I don't know if you can see the smallest one. That's the only one who's standing at the moment. Yeah, I can get really close to them. Yeah, but see, they are keeping a distance. So I'm getting closer. The kangaroo is going away, so they have their own little like space that if you enter, they actually leave. Yeah, so they don't really attack you. Hi. Yeah, so they don't really attack you at the moment. Or I would say these ones. And the normal ones would not as well, like they would, as I said earlier, they would run away. Yeah, but really cool ones to actually see. Yeah, 4 small and 1 big. And then eating the grass. If the waves were not actually here, we'd actually hear them eat the grass. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, what we call them is like big rabbits. So yeah, because they look like rabbits, but they are more bigger ones. Yeah, see, that was the space. Wow. So yeah, so you can get really close to them, actually. But still, they have their own space that if you try to enter, they are leaving you. The smallest one. Yeah. So kangaroos, you will most definitely find them. Koalas, maybe in the zoos or in a smaller sanctuary. Snakes, sometimes not really. Other, how do you call them? Lizards and other like cold, or these like, yeah, I don't know how to call them. These, yeah, like lizard, snake. I think turtles are as well. Yeah, cockatoos and a lot of parrots you will find a lot. Yeah, magpie, they will be your wake up call. Kookaburras as well. So how do I say? A lot of animals of Australia you can actually find on your first day. So yeah. Maybe this one doesn't really care at the moment, but I can get really close to it. Like at least now I'm a meter away from it. Yeah, smaller ones are a bit afraid, but these ones, yeah. As I said, camping grounds, they are really got used to the people. There are a lot of small animals on them, small flies. Yeah, but they're really cute. How they just eat and eat all day and sleep. Yeah. I found another one. This one. I know what it is. It looks really super interesting one. Yeah, so if they are working in groups, I would say. But these are doesn't leave. Yeah, so their group is actually left. They are still here. Wow. Yeah. So as you can see in the background, a lot of eucalypt trees everywhere. No koalas, sadly. In Queensland, maybe the Brisbane area, you can find a lot actually. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but you can find there. Yeah, really beautiful. And so next to the water, you can actually find walking tracks. This is the rainforest walk, which yeah, this is not a botanical garden rainforest walk. This is the real rainforest walk. And as you could see, I guess you can see, yeah, very well maintained. I would say maybe the camping fees and the park fees that is actually making the local community to the local rangers to actually like to so that they can infrastructure this. So yes, this is the real rainforest, not the arboretum or the botanical garden one. Not the arboretum, yeah, botanical garden one. This is the real rainforest with all of the eucalypt trees, which are really huge. Yeah, so I still don't know what he'll be doing tomorrow, today. Yeah, but it's really beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful one. And it's just a small walk, not too much. Like we are, like somewhere in the direction is our camping site, and we're actually going to there. So yeah, really beautiful ones. And here there is no need for sprinkles because the nature is doing its own thing. Yeah, because these plants are not brought here, or not man planted like in Canberra one. Yeah, these are real rainforest trees that is in its own habitat, instead of in a small like man-made area. And it is really perfect weather for little walk after 2 hours of drive, or 3 hours I would say. Yeah, because I've never actually told you guys that I'm actually a learner driver, so yeah, I've never actually told you guys. It's now my, I would say, second year. I'm really hoping to get my provisional license plate, driving license, sorry, really soon. Like I have an appointment in Canberra next week Friday, so yeah, that will be my second attempt, so I really hope that I can now finally get my P's, the red P's, that I can actually drive myself around Canberra mostly. Yeah, really beautiful and just little steps. So yeah, so this was the first time that I've actually driven all the way from Canberra to the ocean. I've never actually, wow, really beautiful one. So I've never actually driven this long. But one really scares me, is the speed limit. So here in New South Wales, for learner and the red P and the green P has different. I mean, the learner and the red P, or the red provisional driver, the maximum speed limit is 90, while the green P, the green provisional, is the 100 km per hour is the speed limit. Here the maximum speed limit on like motorways 110 kilometers per hour. While in Europe it will be 130, 140 or no speed limit, depending on the country you are in. Yes, as you can see the ocean over there. Not sure, but yeah. Really beautiful one. Really beautiful plants. Everything is green. So yeah, so on the motorway I can find a lot of learner and the red provision driver who is driving 90 kilometers per hour, while normal ones 110, which is a bit risky. So yeah, like, I mean, how could you actually, yeah, so how you say, like still, how many 30 kilometers per hour slower than the normal ones? So yeah, that is a bit accidental. Yeah, because here, like all the way on the B52, the King's Highway is actually like 100 is maximum. I could only go with 90 kilometers per hour, and then the hill part, which will be tricky one for me, but yeah, so I've driven all the way from Canberra to Batman's Bay or to Depot Beach not by myself, but because my parents were there, so I was not driving illegally. Yeah, and they say you should not drive 2 hours, more than 2 hours. Yes, but yeah, but as soon as I get my pre-LP, this rule doesn't really apply to me anymore. So yeah. Some kind of animal is coming nearby. Or just the wind. Because if I because I would fear. That's a small bird. But I would hear footsteps, like kangaroos, but they're not really here. They are on the lawn. It's really beautiful palms. So yeah, so still no plans for tomorrow, today, I mean rest of today, because it is already 7 p.m. So yeah, so still no idea what doing the next rest of this today, and then maybe tomorrow. I will try to film as many things as I can, but yeah, I see, like, I mean, I'm thinking to actually buy a second, how do you call that? A second battery, because this drains really much, so it is already on 50% from 100%, and I've been just recording, I would say, half an hour. So yeah, so what did I say? I mean, yeah, on 4K, because that's the best option. Like, why would I do Ultra HD or HD if I can do with my, so if I can do that with my own phone, so 4K is the best option. Yeah, so yeah, I might end this little tour here, because yeah, what else can I say? yeah, what can I say? Like, all you can see is the same plants over and over again. Humidity, I can feel it. Not really hot weather, like 28 degrees. Not like in Jervis Bay where it was 40 or 35. And Canberra is now the is now the is now the uh, hottest place in Australia. Like, it was 35 degrees during the day, while in Sydney it was 29 only. So yeah, so Canberra was really hot. Yeah, so yeah, I will still record if I can. If not, then yeah, I was still happy that I can show you this one, as at least this one. This little bridge. Yeah, so every rainforest walk has its own how do I say, own river. Yeah, so maybe with this view I will call it this part an end. Yeah, with this beautiful greeneries with the background of me. But yeah, they are now background of me. So yeah, I will see how it goes, how my camera can do, because I want to film tomorrow, because Sunday it will be raining, so I won't do anything on that one. But tomorrow I will try to film more if it doesn't die. So yeah, so yeah, I will just think and see what we can see today, tomorrow. So this was today at this moment. So bye guys. So I found out what made those footsteps. Yeah, so what they look like kangaroo, but they are not kangaroo, they're the wallabies. Wallabies and the kangaroos are two different animals. The most common kangaroo that we can see is the grey one. I would think that is the Australian eastern grey kangaroo. And then the wallabies are more smaller one. They're more into this, yeah, they are really hiding. Yeah, so wallabies are smaller, they are more afraid of the people even here, while the kangaroos are not. And as I said earlier, wallabies are sometimes red, sometimes brownish, and they are much smaller than the kangaroos. So, and there are a lot of kangaroos, there are a lot of wallabies. So yeah, so that was the wallabies that made that footstep that I was mentioning earlier. So there is one literally in front of me, looking at me. That's the wallaby. Yeah, as you can see, much smaller one. Yeah, and they are more afraid of people than the kangaroos. That's why I say that, I guess that's why I give it a small space, because they are really afraid. There it is. See? Yeah, they are really afraid. Yeah, they are much afraid of the people than the kangaroos.